So you may or may not know that a few years ago I had a video podcast, and that kind of got sunsetted, and so it's not something that I do anymore. But I've really been wanting to get my voice out there a little bit more and just talk a lot about how we as women may not be feeling the most amazing about ourselves when we could. There are things that we could do that would really help us feel amazing about ourselves. And so I really want to start working on bringing back my podcast, and I'm going to produce it myself and just make it super simple. Just some little snippet that you can use for your benefit. So as I started thinking about why I thought it was important, what I really want to share is the reason I think it's so important for us as women to feel good about ourselves, to love how we look, how we feel, is because we are leaving a trail of breadcrumbs to people that we know, people that are watching us. And believe me, whether you think it or not, people are watching you. There are some people that may be looking up to you, maybe looking for some inspiration, maybe just they love you and everything that you do, they think is amazing. But there are people that are watching. And so if we're not showing them how much we care about ourselves and love ourselves, then how are they ever going to be able to do the same for themselves? I think it's really important, especially when you have daughters or any children really, because they learn what they see, not what we tell them. And so I always would wonder why people would treat me differently when I would show up differently. And what I realized is, after coming from a long career in sales, is that when I showed up in a place where I felt good, when I felt confident about what I was presenting or who I was speaking to, I had a good relationship, a good rapport with that person, I could always connect with them on a deeper level. And when I was feeling a little bit more uncertain, they in turn felt a little bit uncertain too. And so what I really want to do is, as we start digging into more and more of this podcast and talking about things that we can do to make us feel amazing, things that are just little hacks, really not that complicated, but maybe it's something that you hadn't thought of. Maybe it's something that you've gotten out of the habit of doing, or maybe it's something that you struggle with. Either way, it's still good information because it's something that you can take and you can use to make yourself feel better about yourself, so that you can not only impact your life, but impact the lives of those that are watching. I really do think that there's so much power in how we love and treat ourselves, because I don't know about you, but when you look around in the world and you see a lot of the anger, a lot of the frustration, a lot of the fighting, a lot of the people having a hard time when someone doesn't agree with something the same way that they see it, usually that comes from them not feeling good enough about themselves, because they feel like they have to fight for something, because they feel like if somebody disagrees with their opinion or their idea, then they are essentially rejecting them. And so it gets really complicated when you get into the human psyche of knowing that your ideas are not you. And so when you feel good about yourself, when you know that you are not what you think, you are just you, and you were born innately worthy, it makes it a lot easier for people to be able to connect with you. So that is just my little thought for today. And here's something that I'll tell you about me. I love to talk about topics that maybe some people wouldn't want to talk about. I don't have a problem talking about things that may be a little controversial. So when it comes to confidence, when it comes to femininity, when it comes to feeling good about yourself, when it comes to style, I'm all about you being uniquely you. So what are some subjects that perhaps you might be more interested in hearing, or that you might want me to address? And let's chat. Like, I want to share all of the insight that I've gained over, well, hopefully I've gained some insight over the years that I've been alive that that would be beneficial, because I feel like if we can have something that we can share that can help somebody else, then I think it's our responsibility to be able to want to share that. And as Brandon and I work in our coaching business, it truly is something that I see where a lot of people do not have a lot of self-belief. There's a lot of doubt out there. There's not a lot of confidence when it comes to putting themselves out there, even as simply as being on social media and doing all of that. And so whatever we can do to pay it forward and help people and, be the best version of themselves, I think that is absolutely vital. And so I am going to leave you with this thought for today, and I cannot wait for the next one that I do. And if you have any thoughts, please, please, please put it in the comments. I really want to hear from you.